Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something super specific and highly strategic for your professional development as an indie author. We're talking about Kayla Bramante's 2-day live indie author publishing resume workshop. You know, if you've ever hit that publish button on a book and then immediately thought, okay, now what? Well, you're in the right place. We're going to map out exactly how industry insiders are actually viewing your backlist. So let me ask you a question. Are your published books just past projects, or are they a professional resume? Because this right here, this is the central paradigm shift of the entire workshop. So often, we indie authors look at a published book as a completely closed chapter. You know, it's out there in the world, it's done, it's just a past project. But the source material for this workshop challenges us to look at those exact same books through a totally different lens. We really need to stop seeing them as finished tasks and start seeing them as active, living proof of our professional capabilities. Let's get right into Section 1. The publishing resume. A publishing resume is quite literally the proof of your author business. And I want you to really notice the weight of that phrasing. You aren't just someone who writes. You are operating a business, and your previously published works are the undeniable proof that your business is viable. Publishing professionals, and we're talking literary agents, acquiring editors, foreign rights buyers, all of them, they're evaluating you based on a very specific set of metrics. They're looking at your overall catalog, your sales history, your reviews, and your social presence. It's the whole shebang. There's just a really stark contrast between these two author mindsets. On one side, you have the past projects mentality. And honestly, this is the amateur view. It basically implies that once a book is released, it just sits there gathering digital dust. But on the other side, we have proof of author business, which is the professional view. When you adopt the second mindset, suddenly every single review, every sale, and every newsletter subscriber turns into a building block for your future opportunities. It's literally the difference between hoping an agent ignores your self-published past versus strategically using that past to prove you're a safe, lucrative bet. That brings us to Section 2, Day 1, Platform Polish. Okay, so Saturday's live session is all about a comprehensive audit of your existing catalog. You're going to take a hard, honest look at your sales history, your reviews, your social presence, your newsletter, and your overall reader-facing brand. And look, the goal here isn't to feel bad about where you are right now, not at all. It's simply to objectively assess where your current platform is already strong and exactly where it needs a strategic polish. So the absolutely crucial point here is this. What signals actually make you look more professional to the industry? Because it's one thing to just have reviews, right? But it's an entirely different thing to understand how an agent reads those reviews. Are they seeing a healthy, engaged readership? As an author, you have to learn to read your own indie releases through the eyes of a professional so you can spot these signals. You kind of have to step outside of your own emotional connection to the work and evaluate the data purely as a business proposition. Moving on to Section 3, Day 2, Rights and Sales. Now, before we get to the really exciting opportunities, we do need to anchor our expectations a bit. This is not an overnight fix. If you're coming into this looking for a magic bullet to suddenly sell 1 million books tomorrow, this isn't it. Instead, Sunday focuses on a highly practical, strategic approach to positioning your author business. It's all about doing that unglamorous groundwork so that when you finally do step up to the plate for a massive opportunity, your foundation is absolutely rock solid. The workshop lays out a very clear 3-step progression that builds over the weekend. Step 1 is polishing your current platform, which, as we discussed, is exactly what Saturday is all about. Step 2 is positioning your next manuscript from that newly strengthened foundation. And finally, Step 3 is pursuing traditional publishing paths, audio rights, foreign rights, or agent querying. You can really see the logic here, right? A stronger foundation naturally gives you the ability to confidently pursue those subsidiary rights. You just can't jump to Step 3 without knocking out Steps 1 and 2 first. Which leads us to Section 4. Is this for you? This curriculum provides incredibly targeted value, and it really depends on exactly where you are in your career right now. If you're a previously published indie author, well, your goal is to make your existing catalog work harder for you. If you have sales or platform questions, this workshop is going to teach you the actual evaluation metrics. Got a brand new manuscript, your goal will be to build a strong platform to launch it from. And if you're an author considering traditional publishing, this curriculum is totally designed to make that path highly strategic. So whether you want to sell rights to a big publisher or just really strengthen your independent path, there is a distinct use case for you here for sure.
Let's jump into Section 5, meet Kayla Bramante.
Kayla reviews author platforms, publishing history, and market positioning from the agent side. Guys, this is absolutely vital. Kayla Bramante is a literary agent at the Storyteller Talent Agency. She's not just another author giving advice on what happened to work for her. She is literally the person sitting on the other side of the desk. She's the industry gatekeeper who actively reviews platforms and sales histories every day to decide who gets representation and who doesn't. And that gives attendees a really rare, behind-the-scenes, completely unfiltered perspective on what actually matters to the industry. Because you're getting that level of expert access, Kayla explicitly asks attendees to come prepared. You need to bring your prior book release context, your specific platform questions, and your next manuscript goals. Remember, the workshop is live. That means you have the golden opportunity to properly frame your unique situation during the sessions so you can figure out exactly what you need to improve. Wrapping things up with Section 6, Workshop Logistics. So the timeline for this is incredibly tight. The workshop happens over the weekend of June 13th and 14th, 2026. But please notice the cutoff here. Registration slams completely shut on June 13th at exactly 10 a.m. Central Time. That is the exact moment the first session begins. There is zero late entry here, so you have to be on time. The format for the whole weekend is fully virtual and online, so no travel required, which is great. And crucially, like we mentioned earlier, these are live sessions that feature built-in Q&A time. This ensures you can actually get those specific, prepared platform questions answered directly by a real literary agent. And here is the investment, $97. I really want to highlight this number. For a single, highly accessible investment of just $97, you are getting access to both live days of instruction and Q&A with an active industry professional. It is just a remarkably straightforward value proposition for anyone who's serious about the business side of their writing. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take away from this explainer today. I want you to look at your own backlist and ask yourself, is your indie catalog working hard enough for you? Are those books just sitting around as past projects, or are they an active professional resume signaling your true value to the publishing world? Evaluate where you stand today and seriously consider if it's time to take that next strategic step. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.